for the first year homeschool moms. And this is for the first year homeschool moms. Tomorrow I'm also offering a workshop for you. I'm going to be sharing the 8 key things that you need to know to navigate your first homeschool year with confidence. Unlike any other time of the homeschool journey, this first homeschool year is a lot. And I actually think that by the 3rd or 4th year, it can be a lot too, because we hit a wall of dissatisfaction. But there is a point in the first homeschool year where we're researching everything. And it feels like there's so many things to decide, so many things that we have to choose, and we're trying to make sure it works as well as what we think would work well in a school. I will dispel some of those notions tomorrow, but I do want to hear who you are as a new homeschool mom, maybe what your reasons are for joining the homeschool thing, or maybe you're just considering homeschooling. Share that in the comment section. I'd love to hear about your specific scenario, your kids, what they need, what your intention is for homeschooling. Maybe if you have a guiding word or idea underlying your intention to homeschool. And then I'll use that story inside our training tomorrow. So I'll give 40 minutes of training. I'll talk about those 8 key things you need to know. And I will offer 20 minutes at the end for us to chat. I don't know if you've ever heard the story of my homeschool life or my homeschool journey, but I really did not intend to homeschool. That was never on my radar. I didn't even know it existed until my oldest daughter was in grade 2 at a private school. In fact, I shared the story of sending her on the bus for the very first time to kindergarten in my Homeschool Mama Self-Care podcast, an episode released today, all about kindergarten and the 21 ideas. If I were to do homeschool kindergarten again, that would be what I would do. So I share my story about how I came into homeschooling, how I found a book on a bookstore shelf, and I did not intend to read this book. I had not even thought about it until I headed into a bookstore. I find this book, and it says something like the Homeschool Option, How to Decide if It's Right for Your Family by Lisa Rivera. And in my head, I'm thinking, it's not right for my family. I would not do this. I am not that patient. I was right. I am not capable to do all these things. I was wrong. And I did not understand that it would be as profoundly beneficial as it has been. It is a beautiful construct or lifestyle for the homeschool or for the family. And it just provides so much freedom, so much individualization. It really provides so much focus. It helps to focus our actual internal purposes, and it also helps us to do that for our kids too. And so I'm going to share my story about how I came into homeschooling and my first perceptions about homeschooling. I even asked the question, what about socialization? Can you even believe it? Well, if you're in the early year or pre-homeschool years, you might actually be wondering, what is the answer to that question? I have actually dug deep into that question as I read a book called, can't remember the name, but the author's name is Rachel Gathercole, and I've done a book club on that. I've done a podcast episode on that. Frankly, my deep dive into watching my children learn to relate and learn to connect in their bigger world has helped me understand there is no reason that we should be concerned about that. I'm not sure if people think as soon as we enter the homeschool realm that we are therefore going to lock our doors and never come out again, or, lock them downstairs in the basement. I don't know what people are thinking, because that is clearly not the case. Our kids move inside of their communities freely. They're accustomed to talking to people of all ages, and they're doing activities that are sometimes with other schooled kids in extracurriculars. Sometimes they're at co-ops and they're with all sorts of other families with family ages. Sometimes they're, they've got part-time jobs, or they go into college in their high school years, or there's so many possibilities. But our kids, homeschool kids, are always doing something outside the realm of a four-walled institutional space that we call a school. They do a lot of socializing, maybe sometimes too much, as you might hear from homeschool moms that are actually trying to stay home and do something at home. So I'm going to introduce those 8 key things that I think are important for you if you're in your first homeschool year, and I'm going to let you know about the unique support group that I'm going to offer. I've already got a support group available for anyone that's interested, which offers support chats and strategy sessions to discuss the podcast and how you want to actually, help me create it, if that's something that you care about, and also workshops. But for the first homeschool year mom or dad, just know it's a mom that I'm usually talking to, that you are welcome to join me. It is going to be a unique scenario because you're going to be walking alongside, in your first homeschool year, you're going to be walking alongside other first year homeschool moms. And in my experience, they're not usually necessarily on the same continent. It's a very interesting experience doing things online. And you're also accessing workshops, monthly workshops, so that whatever scenarios you think you need to discuss, we'll discuss them. So I'm looking forward to sharing more about all the things with you tomorrow. If you have any questions, thoughts, or anything you want to add and want me to know before I get started tomorrow, you can put it into the comments section. Otherwise, see you tomorrow.